Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Course Consultant Show. I'm so excited to have a very special guest on today's episode, Angela. Angela actually started out as a content writer 8 years ago and quickly learned about PLR and the world of private label rights to help with her growing blog content needs. Now she creates her own packs to help others do the same for their content marketing at Blackbird PLR. I was super intrigued about PLR because I had never heard about this before. And when Angela, who's one of my students inside of my membership, told me about it, I was instantly intrigued. So I said, Angela, I need to have you on the podcast. Could you please talk to me about this topic? And so here we are. Angela, thank you so much for joining me on today's show. I'm so excited to talk about this.
Yeah, private label rights, PLR. It's one of those fun things that you kind of don't always realize that it can help. It's not a complete fix, but it does really can help you with the content marketing, especially when you're trying to create regular content. So yeah, it can be quite a little hidden gold mine of help.
I love that hidden gold mine idea. So tell us a little bit more about your first PLR pack when you first got started. What is it exactly that you sold before? And what was the response from other people who maybe invested in it?
Well, to be honest, I've been using PLR myself for a very long time. You sort of think it's great, but not everybody can afford to pay one-on-one for content writing, which is fair enough. Obviously, we're all at different stages. But it would be nice to create packs of things that people could use to sort of help them along. So I started off with one on Pinterest. So I sort of created that and gave it to a few people to say, right, have a look at this and tell me, would you use this? And they're like, oh, yeah. So that was why I started creating the packs.
I know we could talk a lot about Pinterest because that was your, original background and everything. And you have a really great group all about that. But I know that when it comes to blogging, there's so much time that it comes to creating content. I know for me personally, I have to go look for a lot of different types of information, like doing my own research and looking up high quality photos. Luckily, I don't have a food blog or anything that requires me to use, high res photos like that. Mm-hmm. But I do find that I'm always looking for good content for me to create, and making it from scratch just takes forever. So the beauty of your PLR packs is exactly what people just get content from you. How does that work exactly?
It's kind of up to you really what you do. With the idea with the PLR is the rights are you can use it as if you'd written it. So you don't have to credit me, you don't have to mention me. In fact, a lot of the time it specifically says not to mention the person that's created it. So for example, in my packs, most of them have 10 blog posts in around whatever the topic is. So like say Pinterest marketing. So there'll be anywhere from usually about 500 to 1,000 words. You can literally pick that up and put that on your website if you want to. There's nothing wrong with that. People do get worried about duplicate content, but from everything I've read about it, Google isn't worried about you and me having the same content. It's worried about you and you having the same content on your website. So if you were to publish the same article twice, you're basically duplicating your own content. And it's like, well, why would you do that? But obviously, if you think about it, a lot of people republish content on places like Medium and things. That's duplicate content. So that's the first one that people worry about. So you can, in theory, pick it up, pop it on your website, put a couple of images in, done. But what I tend to find what people do, and what I've always done with the PLR that I've bought, is I'll go through and I'll use it as either like a research packet where I've got all that information in one place and then I can tweak it and add bits to it and make it a bit more me. Or I will take what they've written or what I've written and add more to it based on my own experiences or what I want to do, or even what you want to promote or things like that. If you want to, like, for example, if it was Pinterest and you had a template subscription, you could add some information there about using templates that might not be mentioned in the article to promote your own product. So there's loads of different ways you can use it, literally from put it straight in to virtually rewrite it. But you've got all that information in one place to start with. So you haven't got to go to 10 different websites to do all the research.
Oh, I love that, because I know that when you're creating all of this content, like you said, there's all this research involved and the writing it up. And then, I do like the idea of having something that I could just plug and play. So the beauty of this, and it, from what I'm understanding this is, people are selling these kinds of social media template packs, and we get a lot of these swipe files for captions and emails and sales pages, but I've never really heard of, and probably just because I'm not in the right circles, PLR packs for blogs, which is the beauty of what you're saying. And so this is a real hidden gem that you're talking about, especially with people who are busy creating content, service providers who don't have time to do this, or bloggers who maybe are busy creating their own unique campaigns and really want to help their audience in a specific topic, but just really don't have the time to put together some content for themselves. So you told me a little bit more about your experience about PLRs before using it in your business. Can you tell me a little bit why you wanted to make your own packs? Because I know you said you did that a little bit with the Pinterest, but you said you've been using this kind of concept for years and buying it from other people. So tell me how you kind of came across this PLR thing in the first place.
I know one of the first places I started to get PLR from was when I started my food blog. I quite quickly realised that there was a lot of things that I wanted to write about on the food blog, but I didn't want to actually make because I'm a very fussy eater, and my husband's a chef and he does the cooking, and obviously he works long hours, so he wasn't always around. It's like, I need to write this article. Oh, he's at work. And I discovered a really high quality food blog PLR site called Kitchen Bloggers. Got to know the lady that runs it, and she does all the photos, she makes the recipes and everything. And it was a brilliant way to get some of the articles for the blog that I wanted to write about, but that I wasn't going to actually be able to make myself because it would just end up going to waste, which drives me nuts. So that was how one of the main reasons I started using it. And then I've got a few different blogs now, and you can get them for nearly every topic. And then I thought to myself, well, you know, I can help people in the same way. I can kind of return the favour in a way by me creating packs for things that people are saying to me, oh, I could do with some content of this, but it takes ages to look at it. Or, you know, I really wish I could just publish some quick articles on this, but, you know, I haven't got the time to write 10 articles. So that was why I sort of kind of pay it back in a silly sort of way.
Yeah. Yeah, I really love that. So tell me a little bit more about what you're offering now with Blackboard PLR. I would really love to hear what you're up to in your business.
Well, at the moment, I'm just about to release what will be my 5th pack. I decided I wanted to change from the marketing side. So this one, I looked at some topics that people were very interested in and were quite sort of popular, and thought, right, who could use them and what could they use them? And I ended up with the slightly random topic of air purifying plants. Which is apparently, I was doing some reading up, and it's a really popular topic. And it's also something that a lot of different bloggers could use. You know, your gardening bloggers, your interior bloggers, people who were talking about like eco-friendly and, you know, pollution, climate, all this kind of thing. And there's lots of products you could integrate with it, because obviously you recommended different types of plants and different ways of displaying it and everything. So the latest pack is about that. And it's been very interesting to actually write more than anything, find about all these different plants and how you can use them and the benefits and everything. So that was good fun. So that's the one that's just about to come out, and that's 10 blog posts. And what I've also done with that one is there's a long form article that I've also managed to make into like almost like an email freebie, like opt-in freebie. So it looks a little bit more visual. So you could literally use that as your email freebie, and that's the bonus that's included in. So I've got 3 marketing ones and now 2 on other topics. So it's been nice to do something a little bit different.
Yeah, that's nice. And you can have a variety of different topics you can explore and navigate through. You could share it with other people, and they can grab it and they can go and run it with it on their own business. How cool.
Yeah. It's great fun. And it's interesting as well, because obviously it's nice to do the stuff, you know, like the Pinterest and the blogging and everything, but it's also nice to explore something a bit different and think, right, who could use this? But yeah, there's enough people that could use this, so it's sensible to do. Let's have a go at looking into this topic and, you know, research what people might want to know about it and what content can we create for them. Yes.
I'm a bit of a curious person, so could you tell me a little bit more about your research process? Obviously your audience are probably, you know, maybe more on Pinterest, but for bloggers in general, the most bloggers are on Pinterest. How do you go about your research process to determine what kinds of PLR packs to create?
Yeah, well, I would say the first three marketing ones I did based on what people were asking about in my Facebook group, what people were talking about, you know, Pinterest, how do I write this type of blog post? How do I start an online business? Because that was the 3 basic ones. So those ones I kind of almost wrote off the top of my head because I knew the stuff. I did the fourth one was all about sustainable living, which I think because everybody was talking about the climate change and the big conference coming and everything, and that a couple of months ago I thought that might be an interesting topic to get into. So I did a bit of keyword research, what kind of things are coming up. I like to use Phrase. I don't know if you've run into that one.
Heard of it. I haven't used it myself though.
Yeah, it's quite good because you can actually put a keyword in and then you can see the questions that people ask around that topic. So like the people also ask questions and all this kind of stuff. And it gives you some ideas, right? What do people want to know about this topic? And what would make sense to be a blog post? And then look into it a bit further from there. And I did a similar thing with the plants one. It was like, right, so this is the overall keyword. What kind of topics are people looking for? And what questions are they asking that we could answer in the different articles? And there's just a case of, do you, like you would just a blog post, run it through, look at your keyword research for each specific one, build your outline, and then put it together from there. So the process really for creating a PLR is very similar to creating your own blog posts. Obviously, you're just thinking in terms of someone else is going to use this, not me.
Yeah, no, I like that. So awesome. So we have all of your great ideas on this podcast episode. Obviously, people want to know more about this topic and maybe even grab some of your own PLR packs. So where can people learn about you, what you're up to for your online business, for your PLR packs?
Yeah, I've got a website and it's called blackbirdplr.com. I've got all my packs on there, and I've also got just a few little bits of blog posts and a little freebie about how to use PLR. So that's the main place to see me. And I've also got my main website, which is Scarlight Virtual Services. So that's my big one. And if anybody ever, needs anything, I've always got the services on there as well.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for sharing that. Any last tips for someone who says, I'm kind of interested in learning about PLR? Anything else that you would say to them as far as advice goes?
Yeah, I would say if you think you want to use it, buy a pack, have a look at it. Don't be afraid to completely use every word as it is or rewrite every word. Just think it's saving you time, it's saving you energy. You haven't got to go and do all the research yourself, and you can still make it your own thing because that's the whole point of it.
Perfect. Awesome. Well, thanks so much, Angela, for sharing all of your awesome tips. Make sure that if you're listening to this episode, you go ahead and subscribe to this awesome show, because I interview wonderful entrepreneurs just like Angela every single month. Plus, if you are wondering about, hey, I'm interested about making courses, exploring different types of income to augment my existing services or to possibly replace one or two of my clients, go ahead and check out my membership, The Business of Courses. It's a great place to hang out online. I have lots of templates and trainings to keep you rolling and moving forward in your own online business for courses and digital products. Thanks so much for watching this episode. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure to like and subscribe to this channel. And I can't wait to see you on the next video. Ta-ta for now. Ta-ta for now.